It has been 5 years since Sports Card Investor started. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the very first video we ever put out on the Sports Card Investor YouTube channel. And we had some pretty humble beginnings.
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Sports Card Investor. This is going to be a fun journey, and I am happy to have you along for the ride. My name is Jeff Wilson, and I am an avid sports collector and an investor who is taking a data-driven look at how to invest successfully in sports cards.
So that's how we started. That was our first video ever 5 years ago today. And it was in that episode that I declared that sports cards would soon explode in popularity again.
And I can't help but look at the hobby right now and say there is tremendous investment opportunity for people who approach the hobby with a real data-driven mindset and look for those right opportunities to invest in particular players, particular cards, and then watch those cards appreciate over time.
I wanted to start the channel with this video because I wanted to set a theme for the channel. And I wanted to share with the audience what I deeply believed at that time, which was that sports cards were about to explode in popularity and in price in the near-term future. And there were a lot of reasons I said in that video why I thought that would be the case. Things like the manufacturing of cards getting so much better, serial numbering, grading, liquidity, the ability to quickly sell your cards, the rise of social media with cards, and collectors wanting to reconnect with their youth or also reconnect with their kids and bring their children into cards. I talked about how cards are like the modern day form of art. And I talked about how basketball was growing globally and how the forthcoming Zion mania was about to set the sports card world into a frenzy.
And I really think that you're going to see a flood of people returning to sports card collecting and sports card investing in the next few years. And that's part of the reason why I think that right now is a really great time to be investing in sports cards, because as more people come into the market, demand rises. And in any economy, when demand rises, so do prices. And I think that's what we're going to see across the board for sports cards in the next few years.
That was a really good video to start the channel with because my timing on that was perfect. I released that video back in July of 2019, and of course it was soon after that that the sports card market really started to pick up. Now, I have been wrong plenty of times on this channel over the last 5 years about some of my individual card picks, but I was definitely right on my overall thesis that the sports card market was about to get really hot. The problem was very little people saw that video. After I released it, it got about 100 views, and most of those views came from my family and friends. By the way, how pathetic was my first hello opening up that video?
Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Sports Card Investor.
When I showed that video to my wife, Kim, she told me she thought it was incredibly boring, especially how it started. She thought I had put people to sleep right at the beginning of the video, which I probably did. And that's what gave me the idea of pumping up my intro and going to that hello sports card investors that you still see me do today. In fact, over the first year of my videos, my hello, every single video got a little bit bigger until it got perhaps a little bit too bold, which you'll see later in this video today. So that was my first video. My next video, I broke down a lot of statistical analysis to use that to tell you who I thought was the best basketball card investment at that moment. And this is one of my picks that hasn't gone so well over the course of time.
This brings me to who I think is the single best card you could buy today. And that card is no other than Lonzo Ball. And the reason why I think Lonzo Ball's cards are so good is because, first of all, his card prices are really depressed. If you look at where his cards started at, let's take a look, for example, at his Silver Prism rookie card. You know, prisms are kind of a staple. Silver prisms in particular are kind of a staple in the basketball card collecting world. And when his Silver Prism rookie cards, PSA 10, is what I'm looking at here, first came, out into the marketplace in early 2018, you were getting prices of above $400. Of course, that was a blip because they were the very first cards in the market, but then they stabilized and you were still getting a whole lot of sales at over $300 a card. They dropped all the way down to about $50.
Now, in retrospect, Lonzo Ball was definitely not the best basketball card investment in 2019. But even with that said, when I put that video out, his Prism Silver PSA 10 rookie cards were only $63. And 1 year later, after I put that video out, those same cards were over $600. Even Lonzo Ball's cards 10x'd from the time I put that video out over the first year. That's how crazy the sports card market was back then. It was absolutely bonkers how much cards were growing and increasing. What a time to be creating videos and participating in sports cards. Now today, it's easy to go back and laugh at some of those early picks that I made because now, of course, you're looking at them 5 years later. But at that time, a lot of the picks worked. A lot of the cards that we liked on this channel, they were getting hot and they continue to get hot. But look, we appreciate the fact that people have laughed at some of the things we've done along the way, and we've tried to laugh at ourselves as well. And that's why we turned my pick of Lonzo Ball into the first April Fool's video that we ever did when we came out with our first April Fool's video in April of 2021.
Hey guys, I got big news. I'm taking Sports Card Investor in a whole new direction. Hammer, I need you to go to Market Movers right now, remove every single card except Lonzo Ball. Parker, in the SCI app, I want cards 1 through 100 to be every Lonzo Ball variation. Kelly, email all the members right now and tell them, buy Lonzo Ball. Blake, nothing on social but non-stop Lonzo Ball pictures. Let's go, we got this.
Now, those first few videos we put out on the channel, they got very little traction. Very few people watched them at all. It was the 5th video when I went to the 2019 National. That was the first time that we had a good number of people actually start to notice the channel. And the reason why is because I had coverage of the National show floor and I put it out during the National. Today, you have so many different channels that are vlogging card shows. But back in 2019, we were the first, I think maybe the first to ever really do it. At least at the National that year, I was the first to put out a video. I just took my phone and set it up on a tripod in the corner of the room and tried to record a little bit of the show, and I edited it and put it out during the show, and it immediately caught traction.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sports Card Investor. And this is a special episode because you are looking live at the 2019 National Sports Collectors Convention in Chicago.
So it was that first video from the National that got a couple thousand people to our channel, and they were checking out our channel for the first time. And as they went back and watched some of our very first videos, I actually think it was that original intro that we were using on those videos that got people intrigued and kept them watching more.
My name is Jeff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love.
When I originally founded the channel, a big part of my mission was education. I really wanted to help educate the audience and share with them things that I was learning along my own journey in sports card investing. So 10 videos into the channel, I created Sports Card Investing 101.
Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Sports Card Investor. I'm Jeff Wilson, and today, a special edition episode. This is Sports Card Investing 101. Today, we are doing a special episode for people who are newer in sports card investing, people who have maybe never invested before, or they've just started to get into sports card investing. And today we're going to cover some of the fundamentals and some of the basics.
That video today has close to 400,000 views, and we updated it along the way. There was always a thirst for that type of educational content from the very beginning. So a couple of episodes later, I created Modern Baseball Card Investing 101, but there was a problem. I didn't know much about baseball cards back in 2019. So I went to a local card shop here in Atlanta, got baseball cards, and that's where I met the owner, Joe Davis. He knew a ton about baseball cards. So I asked him to come on the channel and talk to my audience about baseball cards and baseball card investing, and he did. And that was Joe Davis's debut on Sports Card Investor. Hey guys, I'm here with Joe Davis, the owner of GotBaseballCards.com and the Topps Retail Store of the Year.
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
And we are excited to talk about modern baseball card investing 101 today. Educational content like that has always done well for our channel, and it's something that continues to be core to our mission today. Now, our channel had been steadily building momentum for its first 3 months, but there was a problem. I had a 10-day vacation planned to go overseas to visit Ireland and to visit England, and I didn't want the channel to lose momentum when I was gone. So I decided to film some videos when I was over there, and that turned into the first card shop tour video ever on our channel.
And so yesterday, I had the opportunity of going around Dublin on the hunt for sports cards. And so the first thing I did was I loaded up my Google Maps and I searched for trading card stores in Dublin. And I was excited to find that there were a number that came up, a number of trading card stores that came up in Dublin. I'm like, this is great. Let's go check them out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I arrived at the first store. And if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing right now the first store that I arrived at. It is, in fact, a trading card store. It is, however, not a sports card store. Trading cards in Dublin, what is big over here, as I found out, is Magic, and Pokemon is huge over here, and all kinds of games. In fact, even Star Wars cards, a lot of the types of trading cards that are either involve games or are Fortnite or not, other types of cards that are not sports related are actually what's bigger right now in Dublin and in London than sports cards.
Now you can see from the production quality of that video that things have gotten, just a little bit better over time. That was, of course, me doing the filming and the editing for that video, and you can tell it really wasn't very good at all. But I wanted to do that video because it was important to be consistent. We had momentum building. I didn't want the channel to go dark, so I kept at it. I was working hard in this channel in the early days and wanting to continue to put content out, even if I was on the road, just to continue to keep the channel going. The first box break we ever did on the channel was also the first time my son Reeves ever appeared on the channel as well. This was back in late 2019, and Zion Mania was in full swing. So when one of the first products with Zion came out, 2019 Contenders draft picks, we couldn't wait to rip in. All right, so I have 40 blaster boxes of Panini Contenders draft picks in front of me. I am down here in my man cave, and all I need is somebody to help me open these.
Oh, sorry, I'm late.
Oh, there he is. There's my 8-year-old son Reeves, and we are gonna bust through these 40 boxes to see what hits we get. Boom, got the first one. It's not a numbered card, but it is the first Zion.
It's a nice game day.
So we're gonna have a Zion count going here to show you the number of Zions that we pulled. A few weeks later, Prism draft picks came out, and Reeves and I were back at it again, opening more boxes. And it was during that show that Reeves and I pulled the biggest card that we had ever pulled as of that moment in time.
What kind?
Oh, look at that card.
That's an original gold.
Wow, look at that card. That is, oh my gosh, that is number to 5. We just hit a Zion Gold Crusade number to 5. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful card. Okay, now we are talking. Our second box in. Oh my gosh, that is a beautiful card. That was a huge card to pull at the time. Zion Mania was at its absolute peak. And by the way, I later got that card graded. It graded a PSA 10, and I still have that card in my collection today. I'm never gonna get rid of that one because that card signifies an incredible memory, my biggest pull at that moment, and getting to do it with my son Reeves was really special. A few weeks after that moment, Prism Basketball, the actual NBA licensed Prism Basketball, first off the line came out, and you better believe we were ripping that.
Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to what might be the most fun episode of Sports Card Investor yet. Because Christmas has come early in the Sports Card Investor household, you are looking at 48 boxes of Prizm basketball first off the line. It has all arrived at my house. These are the boxes that I bought during Panini's Dutch auction last Monday. And in one of the boxes we opened, I pulled my first one of one on the channel.
We are catching some fire.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
Ready,
What do we got?
get the fire extinguishers ready.
Get the fire extinguishers ready. What do we got? We got a one of one. That is a black shimmer Josh Richardson. And I like Josh Richardson.
Let's go.
I like Josh Richardson. There we go. There's the one of one label for your black. There's the one of one. There's the one of one label for your black. One of the absolute best gifts that Sports Card Investor has given me is the ability to incorporate my kids on the channel and make it a family affair. And of course, now you see a lot of Reeves and Harrison and Amelia and my wife Kim on the channel. And Reeves and Harrison even have their own YouTube channel called Card Kids that chronicles their own adventures in the sports card world. It has definitely been a family affair throughout. And I think that's one of the coolest things about cards, the fact that you can share it with your own kids. And I appreciate you being able to watch me have that experience with my kids over the course of time. It has truly been one of the most special things for me about this channel. Now, many of the first videos I did on this channel involved price charts, and you can see what those archaic price charts looked like. I would create these charts on my own by pulling data from eBay, putting it all into a big spreadsheet, and then creating these graphs in Excel. It wasn't pretty. They didn't look great, and it took me hours to create every single one of those charts. That is what gave me the idea for Market Movers. And so during the last part of 2019, as I was putting out these videos, I was working hard on creating Market Movers. At that time, the idea of Market Movers was revolutionary. There was no product out there that could chart the price movements of sports cards or track your collection. Nothing existed. Market Movers was the very first ever to do it. I was working with a team of programmers to build it. I was so excited to get it out into the market, not only because I wanted my audience to be able to use it and experience it, but I also wanted to be able to use it because I knew that it would save me so much time when creating videos and create so much more opportunity to do things like the top 5 videos of cards going up and down. We finally completed Market Movers in February of 2020, and we were able to release it live on the channel.
It's here, it's finally here! My membership program and my brand new Market Movers data tool are live. I cannot wait to tell you about them and show them to you in today's special episode. By going into my player charts, you can search for a player, such as Luka, and you can see totally clean pricing information about Luka's cards. In this case, his Prizm basketball cards in a ton of different variations. So let's say we wanted to look at his silver and his pink ice and see what they've been up to. All we do is click search and we get a graph showing all of the different variations of his pink ice and silver in different grades.
When that video launched the night of February 12th, 2020, we got a ton of signups, many customers signing up to use Market Movers. It blew past my expectations. And it proved to me the power of the channel, and it also proved to me that there were so many people out there that cared about sports cards and wanted to understand the sports card market and what prices were doing in the sports card market. It was also really key to me because I wanted to start using the product for our own channel. Having Market Movers allowed us to start doing things like Top 5 Tuesdays, which really weren't possible before that product came along. But most importantly, having Market Movers turned Sports Card Investor into a real business. It gave us a source of revenue, which means that I could start to hire people and build this out as a real business. Today, we have Cards HQ, we have Whatnot streams, we have other ways of making money. But back then, it was really just Market Movers. Launching Market Movers allowed me to hire the first person onto our video team, Charles Hurley, who joined me in early 2020, and he continues to lead our production today. And what a critical hire that was. Our lighting instantly got better, our sound got better, our graphics got better, and our show overall got a big upgrade, and it started to set the path for what Sports Card Investor would become as a high production show. And over the course of that first year, I was able to hire other key employees who are still part of the team today as well. People like Kelly and Teapot and Parker, they've all been part of this since the very beginning. Today, we've got a big team. Today, we've got 4 full-time video professionals, plus a graphics team, a social team, a marketing team. We have sponsorship. We have a very big product team working on Market Movers and our Sports Card Investor app and more. But back at the beginning of 2020, it was just me and Charles pumping these videos out. And one of those early videos that we pumped out together was our first Top 5 Tuesday ever, which launched right after the launch of Market Movers on February 18th, 2020.
It's Top 5 Tuesday on Sports Card Investor, a new tradition where every Tuesday we look at some of the hottest players in the sports card hobby. And then the number 1 spot, can you guess it? He's a basketball player. He has been absolutely on fire the last couple of months, truly lifting his team on his back. He plays in the Pacific Northwest, and his name is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has been the hottest card in the hobby. All of his cards are up 143% over the last 90 days. Damian Lillard.
But the first year of Sports Card Investor was definitely not all fun and games. We had to deal with some real serious stuff as well. First of all, Kobe Bryant passed away in January of 2020, and I spent some real time grappling how to deal with that on the show, because he, of course, was such a huge figure in the world of sports, and there was also a lot of movement in his card prices right after his death. How do you deal with such a sensitive subject?
In today's show, in this week of celebration of the life of Kobe Bryant, what should we make of the dramatic swings in his card prices? And ethically, when is it okay to sell your Kobe Bryant cards for a profit? We explore that in today's episode of Sports Card Investor, as well as an update on Zion's latest card prices.
And little do we know then that the biggest news story of the year was going to absolutely rock the sports world and the sports card world and the entire world in general just a month and a half later. It was, of course, March 11th of 2020 when COVID started to run throughout the United States and the NBA suspended its season. That was the first big movement in the sports world in response to the spread of COVID. What was interesting, when that happened, I was actually recording a video with another YouTuber named Filmington. We were on a stream together recording a show about the start of the upcoming baseball season and what the baseball season was likely to look like for sports cards. The NBA canceled their season while Filmington and I were recording that show, and we got done with our recording and we both saw the news, and he texted me right afterwards. He's like, "You might not want to release that video because is there even going to be a baseball season?" I was like, wow, this is crazy news. I decided to go live. It was one of the very first times I ever went live on the Sports Card Investor channel, and I decided to give the audience my raw reaction to the news of the NBA season being suspended and what was happening at that very uncertain moment.
Oh, wow. I cannot believe the news. I cannot believe that it has come to this. I cannot believe that the NBA is suspended. What a dramatic fashion to have it suspended, where literally they just stopped a game the second before it was supposed to start, and no one really quite knew what was going on. The news stories about this virus and the spread and all this stuff, man, it has escalated. It has been a crazy, even 24 hours.
People in the chat that night, they were very, very doomsday about what all of this would mean for sports cards.
I'm going to forget about sports cards for now. Look, I get all of that. I understand that. Cards are going to be trash until there's a vaccine. Okay. Think that way. That's fine. You guys think that way. And if you go panic right now and put all of your cards on eBay, let me know, because I do think that we will get back to the same hot sports card market that we have today.
Despite the sports league shutting down, I was resolute not to shut down the channel. I kept it going. We kept putting out new videos regularly, but the sports card market got so bad so quickly that my top 5 videos, I actually had to change them in late March to do the top 5 cards going down in value.
It's Top 5 Tuesday on Sports Card Investor, and today, the 5 cards that have been hurt the most by the suspension of sports, the coronavirus, and the economic uncertainty.
Thankfully, that didn't last long. Just a couple weeks later, the sports card market came roaring back. And 1 month after the NBA season was paused, we were already talking about how the sports card market was going absolutely insanely up once again.
Remind me if you've heard this before. The sports card market is on fire. But it's true. It's happening again. Sports cards are going up like crazy. And in today's episode, I've got evidence as to why I think it's going to continue.
And from there, things kept going up. And in that year, 2020, the card investing success stories continue to hit.
Today on Sports Card Investor, perhaps my best sports card investment ever. How I made almost $50,000 in less than a year.
That card I was talking about there, by the way, was the 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, BGS 9.5 True Gem. I had bought that card for $15,000 at the 2019 National, and it was already up tens of thousands of dollars in value. Of course, everything was easy back then in 2020. Everything was going up, including Topps Project 2020. Remember the crazy hysteria about Topps Project 2020? Well, that caught my attention, and I was pretty worried about it. I was looking at all of the charts and graphs of Topps Project 2020 and Market Movers, and I said, I think this thing's about to crash. There were things about that set and the prices that the cards had gone up to that didn't make any sense to me. I remembered in particular the fact that the art version of Mike Trout's rookie card actually became more valuable than his actual rookie card in PSA 10 condition itself. And it was that moment when I said, I gotta create a video about how crazy this is and why I think the Topps Project 2020 market is probably about to crash.
Topps Project 2020 is all the rage. And as a collector, I absolutely love this set. But as an investor, if you're getting into the game now, I think you're better off putting your money elsewhere.
Now, that was definitely one of my most controversial videos ever, or at least at the time. I actually got threats coming off that video. I had some Topps Project 2020 collectors and investors threaten me physically and tell me to take the video down. But of course, we know what happens. It did in fact crash. Those cards did not hold up in value the way that people hoped that they would. And that was just the first time of many times that the sports card market has seen some real boom and busts over the course of the last 5 years. In July of 2020, almost at the 1-year point of this channel, I invited my friend Mark to open a box of 1988 Fleer basketball with me on the channel. And little did I know that video would end up becoming our most viewed video of all time in the history of this channel, at least as of now. Currently has 1.3 million views on YouTube.
Hey Mark, welcome to Sports Card Investor.
Thanks, good to see you.
Keem, and that's nicely. Oh, there we go. Hey, we got our first Jordan.
Got a Jordan.
We got our first Jordan.
How's
We got
it?
our
Let's look
first
at that
Jordan
centering.
All-Star.
Let's
take a look at that. Let's take a nice look at this one. That is really nicely centered. That seems to be a really good condition card right there.
By the way, all of the cards that we pulled in that video, including that Jordan that we just showed you that we thought was in such good condition, they all graded really poorly. It just shows you how hard it is to grade older cards these days. That was a big video for us though, and it's still a fun one to look back on today. You know, we ended our first year of Sports Card Investor with a real bang. Unfortunately, the 2020 National was canceled. Of course, you know, we still had COVID running wild through the country, so the National was canceled that year. So at Sports Card Investor, we decided to use our platform to give collectors some solace with the fact that the National was canceled. We created the virtual Sports Collectors Convention. In the wake of the National being canceled, we said, why not take the National virtual and do the concept of a card show and do it live on our Sports Card Investor channel. So we did a 5-day event. The same 5 days that the National was going to take place, we went live every single night on our channel for a couple of hours, and we did a virtual card show. It was a lot of fun. It got a lot of people watching the channel, and it's a tradition that we have kept doing ever since. We've moved it to the holidays, but that's why we still do our holiday Sports Card Con every year. It's a throwback to that first virtual from when the National was canceled back in the summer of 2020.
Well, hello, sports card investors, collectors, and hobbyists from around the globe. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for the first virtual Sports Card Con 2020. We are extremely excited to have you here tonight. And for the next 2 hours and the next 5 days, we seek to bring you world-class hobby entertainment. First of its kind entertainment here from our brand new Sports Card Investor Studios in Midtown Atlanta.
Now, I might have been a little bit overly ambitious with the hello at the beginning of that video. I was a little extra excited to be going live and doing that virtual for the first time ever. I toned it down a little bit after that. I think that was peak hello for the channel, but it just showed how excited I was at that moment. And that's how it all started. That ended the first year of Sports Card Investor. It was an absolutely incredible first year, but here we're celebrating our 5th year. The next 4 years after that, they felt like an absolute blur in the most incredible way. From going to card shows and card shops around the world, to doing profiles of the best collections in the world, to doing box battles and pulling incredible cards, and interviewing the best and brightest in the business, to launching new shows like Cards on the Table and new channels like Market Movers and Card Kids and the Jeff Wilson Show, to upgrading our studio 2 different times, and then opening up our own world-class card shop, Cards HQ. This last 5 years has truly been the best professional experience of my life. He's got a shot. Welcome to Cards on the Table. It is a brand new show every Thursday.
I've been on the road, out here with the squad. Everybody trying to go, yeah, the party jumping off. Hey, we putting on a show, trying to catch a vibe. We do this every time, like na 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 na. Feeling like I'm on the highway, cause everything been going my way. And now they looking at me sideways. I'm like na 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 na. This is where I wanna be, na na na. Never ever gonna leave, na na na. You ain't gonna get it from me. I'm like na 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 na. This is where I wanna stay, na na na. I could do this every day, na na na. It don't matter what they say. I'm like na 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 na. Say hey, I've been on the wave. It's a party, make a toast. It's a party every day. So anyway, you
It's
go.
release day for one of the biggest products of the year. By 250 game-used
I
bats.
got nothing but the highlights. Can't believe that this is my life. I'm only
we got
living
it!
on the
We got
bright
it! There you go, ladies and gentlemen! We got it! There you go!
This is where I wanna be, na na na. Never ever gonna leave, na na na. You ain't gonna get it from me.
He's back!
Na 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 na. This is where I wanna stay, na na na. I could do this every day, na na na. It don't matter what they say. I'm like na 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 na.
Hello, Sports Card Investors, and welcome to the first Trade Night Live. The last 5 years have been absolutely incredible, and of course, none of this would have ever been possible without you watching the channel and without you supporting everything we are doing. I'm truly humbled that you have given us this opportunity and given me this opportunity to do what I absolutely love. It has been an incredible journey, and we're just getting started. I cannot wait to see what the next 5 years will bring.
This is where I wanna be, never ever gonna leave, You ain't gonna get it from me, I'm like,